So we have talked about sound selection quite a bit. We've talked about like the main 2 points that are like super important, that you always want to choose sounds that match other sounds and match like the vibe of the beat that you're kind of trying to make, right? And then second, that you use like good quality sounds. I'm going to be talking about sound selection in this video and mostly taking that idea like a step further, and we're going to try to apply it to some more advanced techniques and stuff to really improve your beats. It's going to be a mixture of drums and melodies in this video, so let's get into it. Should get the first tip out the way because it's going to kind of relate to the melody. So first tip being experimenting. I'm basically just saying, you know, not doing something super generic, super typical, or, you know, just going with the typical approach to like the drum bounce, the melody bounce, stuff like that. Just thinking about different ways you can approach adding stuff to a melody, and this can go into the drums too. So I'm really liking this first one though, I'm not gonna lie. So let's open this in Edison. Actually, this is probably like my go-to method, is that I'll try to mess around with it in Edison, try to catch a different vibe, because you can't really hear all of like the pockets for like the drums and stuff if you're just hearing it in one pitch and one speed. So Edison gives you plenty of control to mess around with the pitch and the speed. So I'm thinking something a little bit slower, or like 0.6 speed, something like that. Yeah, we'll probably just take this and just bounce it out and try to move it around and repitch it on its own. So the only thing I'm really going to do is put it on a different timing. We'll put these on each bar. The more advanced sound selection stuff is mostly about messing with the tone of the beat before you even put the drums on. This literally just comes down to the melody. So do you want it bright? Do you want a lot of mid-range? Do you want a lot of top end? Like I said, adding like more information to the actual melody. So it'll just come down to like practicing a lot and getting a good ear for what the beat needs or what the melody needs in this case. We're going to try to fill stuff out with other like melodies, accents and stuff. Maybe use the last part too, not the first part. This kind of brings me to my next tip, using effects. I mostly mean for affecting like the tone. A lot of the sound selection stuff really just plays into the tone. This is cool sounding already, but this is going to sound a lot better with some more effects on this here, just to make it sound a little bit more lush and more of like a background kind of accent. I kind of kept it real simple. I just put some Valhalla vintage verb on this, and then I usually clean it up with like a little bandpass narrows just to clean up the reverb. Going back to the effects, I think the Reese bass needs some like grit to it. I did put some thermal on here, and this is just like making it way thicker. And then a little bit of fast distortion, which is stock, of course. So never could go wrong with this. Ooh, that's gonna be hard. Okay, so I did just add this portal just now, and it's actually from SOUNDLAB as well. And I think it's in the starter edition too. It just doesn't have that many presets. I mean, it's like that signature portal sound, basically. It's just super hard, man. And you're probably wondering why it sounds kind of weird. It's this bad flanger preset on a delay tape. I use it a lot. It kind of gives like this illusion that the sound is really stretched when it's actually not, and it kind of makes the one shot sound kind of unique. But it's yeah, I would definitely recommend trying that out. Ooh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm really thinking we just play chords with those. Thing loud as hell, but it sounds hard. So we just go repeat that, honestly. I put like a little Crosby thing I always use on like pads and stuff to make it like more choppy and stuff. So it's got regular halftime on here, and then I got this little cutoff thing it does, like kind of almost like a side chain. Okay, that's super different. We gonna use that. Copy these over and just make them real short. Let me try to find like maybe like one more accent we can like throw in there. I'm using that. I gotta use it. I do kind of want to talk about my fourth little trick or technique here, and is resampling. As much as we can just kind of just throw the drums on here as is, because the melodies are really good, we can actually bounce this out and use like Fruity Slicer to chop it up more and do our like own little like kind of sample chops and stuff. Two other things I usually do technique wise to make it sound like a little different is it's already on the same BPM. So if you stretch it a little bit with this fit fader here, it's going to actually still be on time, but it's going to just stretch the sample just a little bit. So it gives it more of like a sample kind of like sound, I guess. I'm not going to mess with the pitch too much. So I just went down one semitone so I don't have to really figure out the whole key I was in again. Maybe change like the first one. Okay, yeah, this is when the melody changes to the second chord, so we'll probably do that. Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. I think this thing is ready for some drums, and this is actually going to bring me to my fifth and last point of the video for sound selection. I think you guys should really start thinking about what you're adding and what you need to remove, depending on what direction you want your beat to kind of go in. If you're going to choose super hard sounds that are going to like really punch through the mix and be consistent with it, don't just, choose a hard kick and then just choose like a super weak snare. You see what I mean? Because once again, sound selection really just plays into the tone of whether it's going to come out darker or brighter, depending on what sounds you use. You really want to be tactful, subtle, and you also want to be real smart going into it so you can save yourself time later. If you choose the right sounds off the bat, you don't have to really go through and wasting 10, maybe 15 more minutes going through sounds, switching sounds out because you didn't really choose the right sounds off the bat. So once again, this is more of an in practice thing, so you just get better with this over time. Yeah, this snare is perfect because it has a little bit of darkness to it, but it's also really bright too. But yeah, that's about it for the video. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this actually, and you'll hear the final beat in the outro. As for the kits that we used in the video, we used some of the drums from DUALITY, and everything we used to make the melodies was from SoundLab. Be on the lookout for when the full version drops. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you drop the video a like, and I'll catch you on the next one.